doctor.
South Africa is the third most overweight nation, and with 1 in 5 children tipping the scales, our kids are carrying an increasing portion of our lifestyle disease burden.
I think it's very important for kids to participate in sport, and certainly something that was important to me even from the age of 4 or 5. I was always out there on the sports field doing something. My advice to parents would be to encourage their kids to play sport as much as possible in an environment where you're just out there in the fresh air rather than sitting behind desks and computers, which is a temptation these days.
Fitness expert Lisa Raleigh is waging a war against childhood obesity.
Wanga, how is sporting chance helping to curb childhood obesity these days?
The research testing that we did 10 years ago proved that we're starting to rival our Western counterparts as far as being obese because of lack of physical activity, because of various things. And recently we've got guys in our communities running physical education because, as you know, it was taken out of the curriculum a couple of years ago.
What are some of the benefits you've seen of kids participating in sport and exercise?
As far as keeping a concentration in school, it's very important. You'll find that somebody who's physically fit is also mentally fit, so it also helps that with the general confidence of the kids as well.
You've been mentoring Apiwe. How has he transformed since being on your program?
The great thing about Apiwe, he comes from the Kalisha community, and where a lot of sport is not going around, and started playing cricket about a year ago. He was, I'll call him a bit of a chubby kid because, he was just eating and not being physically active. And after that, he started playing cricket. When he's been hooked on the sport, and he's changed. He's lost a bit of weight. He's got confidence, and with the confidence, he's one of the popular kids now.
The Health of the Nation survey was conducted late last year to study the extent of child obesity in South Africa.
Nikki, what is the reason for doing a survey like this one anyway?
The main reason behind doing this survey is we need to know how big the problem is so that we know what kind of solutions we need to look at to put in place to prevent it getting worse or hopefully to improve the situation. But what we're also seeing now is a huge prevalence of chronic diseases of lifestyle. Obesity is a huge contributing factor to that. So all these kind of obese children will become obese adults, and then we're going to have huge prevalence of diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, even cancers related to obesity and certain types of cancer.
So what can parents do to become more involved so that their kids don't become a statistic?
The most important thing for parents is to lead by example, and I think also what they need to do is to make whatever they do sustainable. So if you want your kids to be more active, if you want them to lose weight, I don't think it's wise to force kids to do something they don't want to do. It's important to do things with your kids that they enjoy, because if they enjoy doing exercise, then they'll continue it and they'll carry on, and that's what we want. We want kids to have fun and we want them to be active.
What are some of the life skills that the kids have learned since being on your program?
What we're trying to introduce, in the future is just talk about living in a democratic country, because these kids don't get to interact with the other race and other people from different communities, so it's one of the things that we're trying to break into the kids.
The good news is that we can prevent obesity in our children, and it starts with a healthy, balanced lifestyle.
I wanna live the best life.